How's it going, guys? It's Joe. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some more grand arena footage here that I've got against this gent, Swgoh. So as you can see, he's got about 700k more GP than I've got, and he's got a pretty strong lineup. He's got a really strong Grievous, nightsister and separatist squad. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So at the top here, he's got Geos, he's got bounty hunters and first order at the bottom. I decided to go for the bottom bit here to begin with, and I'm just going to throw in my resistance squad. So I didn't use BB-8 for defense this time. I really wanted to see how we went with resistance hero Finn. So at the beginning, I'm going to ability block Kylo Ren unmasked, and I'm going to go for first order executioner here. So the whole point of this is try and keep their turn meters in control. So I passed that turn meter around to BB-8, and I'm going to do more data transfer to increase more turn meter gains. Going to get first order executioner out of the way, and going to throw this grenade onto Captain Phasma there. So it looks like crew's about to take a turn, so we're going to put that on Stormtrooper first. We've still got enough time until the next turn comes around. I'm going to put a stun on crew here and do more turn meter gains. Toss some more turn meter onto BB-8, and as you can see, I've already got Illuminated Destiny up, which is pretty amazing. I really like how quickly I got to Illuminated Destiny there with the help of Resistance Hero Finn. At this point, I'm gonna try and just slowly chip away on this tank here in the back. And that's a pretty tough Kylo Ren unmasked. I think it's a Relic 5, so it's gonna be a tough one to beat. At this point, I'm looking to get my healing immunity on one of these Kylo Rens. So once Rey is able to take a turn and use that second ability is when we can really beat these two characters down. I'm gonna throw some more turn meter around and just keep controlling that turn meter there, keep getting the stuns in. And now we've got the heal block here onto Kylo Ren. This is a really strong team, guys. Even better with BB-8 on the squad. I feel like I probably could have used them for a more formidable opponent, but at this point I'm still in the testing stages, and they work really well against First Order. I've seen some videos from Arnold where they can work on even stronger meta teams, like Padme and Sith Empire. I don't have my Resistance Hero Finn 7-star yet, so I don't think I would be ready for any of those meta teams soon. But towards the end here, it looks like I'm getting to his HP finally, after I got that healing immunity on him, and the grenade does the job. 60 banners there. Next battle is going to be against the Bounty Hunter squad here. I really probably should have saved my CLS team, but at this point I was thinking to myself I didn't want to risk anything, so I just threw in my 3 main rebels there on the CLS. So I'm going to stun Bosk here, prevent that taunt from happening. I'm going to remove turn meter on Zam, and I'm going to stun Greedo in the back and kill off Greedo as well. I tried to stun Boba, that didn't really work out, but all the counterattacks were overwhelming and we dropped him one time. And I can see that Bosk here is not that tanky for this CLS squad, so I decided to go for him and just get him out of the way. Boba's gone as well, and now we're gonna go after Zam. Get those stuns in, and we drop them fairly easily here. So I probably could have used my first order squad on this bounty hunter lineup here. But the tricky thing about Grand Arena is you don't know what's hiding behind these, I guess, platoons. So it's important to be able to save the more important squads for what's behind. So I'm going to use my Sith here, and I saved my Darth Malak. I didn't use him on defense, and I was so glad that I actually used him on this Geo team, because that's a Relic 7 Geo Brood Alpha right there. So that is a really scary Geo team, and I apologize in advance for you guys, because at this point I was lagging so much when I looked at the footage here. It's the first time I'm using this emulator called Nox, so I'm still trying to work out what's the best setting to prevent this lag from happening. I believe it only really lagged with the Geonosian team for some reason. They do take a lot of turns and they gain so much turn meter, and I actually lost Scion here as well before I could make a move, and my Scion was decently modded for speed, so I was fairly unlucky. But I'm so glad that I brought in Malak, because he was the game changer here. He was the one that beat the whole Geonosian team down. Once I'm able to get a turn, it wasn't tricky. They were all pretty low from Treya's leadership. So, and I was stuck behind this taunt, had to use that basic. Once I got here, plant that shock onto Brood Alpha, which gets him out of the way. And I didn't really have to take my picks here, I just went for the first thing I could go for, and since Spy was under stealth, I had to go through the rest of them first. So it worked out pretty well. I've got an Old Republic squad here on the top, and at the bottom you can see that there's already a Grievous and an insanely relic separatist team waiting for me. I was thinking of using a bounty hunter squad on this Old Republic squad up here. However, I wasn't 100% confident on my skills using the bounty hunter team, and I don't think I had them modded very optimally. I usually have them on defense, so I decided to use my Palpy led Empire squad with Wampa and Visas Ma. So the trick with this is I'm gonna try and throw that turn meter onto Palpy and try and stun as many as I can. I was glad that Zalbar got stunned there, and I'm gonna use that ability block onto Karth. Now I'm gonna try and fracture Zalbar. So the trick with this team is try and control Zalbar's taunt as much as you can, and slowly get rid of the other characters on the team and leave Zalbar for last. So this piercing strike here is pretty awesome. It adds armor penetration to your team, just gives you more DPS overall, which is pretty amazing. So I'm gonna give some more turn meter to Palpy here and use that shock, and now I'm gonna fracture Zalbar again. Wampa hits for a crazy 50k on Karth there in the back, and I got my ability block onto Mission here as well. So as many dots as I can place. Almost dropped Mission here, that's it. And I've got T3 as well. So towards the end here, I'll just speed it up a bit, because this will take a while. As you all know, a high relic Zalbar, although this wasn't even a relic up Zalbar, it was a G12 Zalbar, but still had so much survivability here. So the whole premise of this last bit is that I just pretty much stun locked him, fractured him whenever I could, and pretty much just controlled his turn meter and didn't allow him to take a turn. just really slowly beating him down. Wampa is another interesting character because he hits like a truck. He is absolutely amazing. I think he could be one of my next relics. However, I've got to have my priorities in check. So no matter how interested I am in doing that, because currently I'm working on my first ordered team here, and that's primarily for the arrival of the new Kylo Ren. So I've got a really strong Gas team here in the back. Although Gas himself is 6-star, I didn't want to risk it. I could have used CLS here. However, I used him previously for the Bounty Hunter team, so I have no choice. I wasn't expecting for my opponent to actually have this much of a strong defense here in the back. I knew he had Grievous here at one point, and probably his Separatists. And it probably would have been either Gas or Sith Empire, of which he had Gas. So I'm going to throw the translation onto GK, just to increase his survivability. Use the AoE there, and get us some protection up. So this is a 6-star Gas, so it's not a problem at all. As you can see, his protection's already pretty low, and I got 5 stacks of courage, so I'm just gonna use my basic here to drop the rest of that protection, and I'm gonna go against 5s here. I've got 18 stacks of courage, so I'm gonna use that burn on R2, and I've pretty much almost got him down. I'm stuck behind a taunt, so I can't confuse anyone else, and I'm gonna drop 5s here. Next target is Rex. With 19 stacks of courage in that basic, I got Rex down, and Gas is almost about to get up, so I'm gonna use my cleanse here. 13 stacks of courage on that basic, and I dropped Arc Trooper there as well. And we drop Gas just like that. So there's a dramatic difference between a 7-star and a 6-star Gas. As you can see here, guys, that counter attack does the trick. I probably still could have done with a weaker squad there against Gas, but I just really wanted to make sure, because I know I'm gonna struggle against that Grievous team later on, but I didn't want to make any more mistakes. So here I was really struggling, thinking about not using my Jedi team against this nightsister squad here. I really wanted to try and throw out my first order. However, that's a high relic Asajj with a high relic Daka. And here at the bottom, it's pretty much all relic Separatists with Wat Tambor. And I believe I used my Gas team here with Ahsoka. Just because that's a Relic 7 Dooku and a Relic 7 Jango as well. And I know I'm going to struggle with that later on. So I threw in Ahsoka. And I believe it worked out pretty well, actually. Got a 7-star Relic 7 Gas here. So Wat Tambor placed that shield generator onto Magna Guard. So I'm stuck behind that taunt for the minute, which is why I used my AoE here. Try to drop all their health down for a bit. And I'm gonna try and hit Wat Tambor straight away when I get the chance. So I've got Gas's turn. I'm gonna hit Wat Tambor for 50k and point that cursor onto Newt Gunray, who gets dropped like that. And with Gas's leadership, no one can revive, so I was so glad. There, I probably still could have used this team for the Grievous team, but I had no choice. I had to make the decision at that point in time, and I guess the biggest regret I had was that I used my CLS squad really early. And at this point, I could have used my Jedi squad against GG or my Jedi squad against nightsister. which I really struggled with because in the past I've had problems beating a GG team with my Jedi. So I thought to myself, what's the highest percentage of winning that I've got? And that's probably to go with Jedi and try and beat down this nightsister team, and that way I get optimal banners here at the top and worry about the Grievous team at the bottom later on. So I'm going to target Asajj here, pass that turn meter around to Grandmaster Yoda, and now I'm going to mark Asajj here as well, and I'm going to drop her fairly quickly. Put those buffs onto Grandmaster Yoda and put Grandmaster Strain on Grandmaster Yoda as well. Increases his offense as well as his survivability. Once I've been able to use my Jedi against this nightsister team, I realized they really weren't that strong, and I probably could have gotten away with using my first order here, and I probably could have used my Jedi for that GG team. At this point I made really quick work of this nightsister squad after that AoE, which drops Talzin. I'm gonna go and beat down nightsister spirit here, and that was it. Game, set, and match. And looking at my opponent's battles here, he actually struggled with my nightsister squad as well, which I was quite happy about. It took him 3 battles to accomplish, and in the back he was not able to pass my Shakti-led clones, which is why I had an underdog 501st squad. I had Arc and Echo in the back, which helped a lot. So at this point, I wanted to make sure I survived the opening salvo and at least drop BB-8 here with my first order squad. I lost Nihilus fairly early, and I lose Bosk and everyone else there as well. Gonna try and drop B2 here, but no dice as he had enough survivability, and I didn't have enough DPS on Sith Trooper there. So looking at the scoreboard up here, I got about 40-ish banners ahead of my opponent here, and he struggled with my Shakti in the back. He was not able to first clear either. I will update you as soon as I know what's happened and if he's won against my team there in the back. At this point I was just looking at my leftover squads here that could possibly be used against this GG team, and as you're about to see, there was not much luck to be had. Used my Imperial Troopers here. I wanted to drop B2, so I passed that turn meter around and I was able to drop him. However, I was quickly running out of steam and I was losing teams that I could potentially use against this. So this last bit here was just me trying my best to possibly beat down either B1 or Droidica, which was not very likely to happen, but I just did it anyway. Looking at Stormtrooper Han here, I didn't have him modded very well either, and I pretty much knew that I could not accomplish this. But tried it either way. It was a very fun Grand Arena matchup, very tough, as this gentleman had so many relics on certain characters, and that Separatist team at the bottom was really tough. So That's it for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.